For all their engineering and design genius, manufacturers can be a little bit boring. Take the way the big three German manufacturers name their cars. Audi have the letters A, Q or R followed by a number. Mercedes-Benz have a letter followed by the word class. And BMW have gone in numerical order, 1 being the smallest, 7 being the biggest. But besides those bland names, you know that all those models I've mentioned are different. Well, they used to be. That was until BMW went and introduced a whole new model range, designated the 4 Series, and then released a bunch of cars that looked remarkably similar to the 3 Series. Same size, same engine, same gearboxes, just a slightly different body shape and initially 2 doors only, until they further confused the issue by releasing the 4 Series Grand Coupe, which has 4 doors. To be honest, I didn't understand the change or the not change, so I phoned BMW's PR guy and asked him to explain the difference to me between the 3 Series and the 4 Series. Turns out it's got nothing to do with body shape or door count. It's got to do more with the fact, and I'll use his words, that the 4 Series offers more product substance in terms of aesthetics and dynamics and presence. And by that reasoning, I reckon if you prefer the 3 Series, it means you're just a little bit boring. Well, that's my own cynical take on it, but the fact is that despite having a lot in common with the 3, the 4 Series does look like it'll be the more fun car to drive. It's lower and a bit more aggressive, and the trimmed-down rear lights make it look more dynamic. The traditional coupe shape and 2-door setup of our 428i test car means you lose out on a bit of practicality, but then again, that's why there's a 3 Series. After doing this job for a few years, I realized something odd about BMWs. I either end up really loving them or they leave me cold. I've never been indifferent about any BMW I've driven, but normally that process takes a while. But when this car arrived at RPM HQ, I had a good feeling that this was going to be special. Unlike BMWs from the past that carried a 2.8 at the end of their names, this new generation 428i doesn't have a straight 6 motor. It's a twin-scroll turbo 4-cylinder with 180 kilowatts and 350 newton meters. Enough power for a sub-6 second 0 to 100 time and a limited top speed of 250 kilometers an hour. Like a lot of BMWs, it's not just about the power, it's about how well balanced this package is. A good engine is matched by great suspension and grip that's really obvious without approaching this car's limits at all. It really engages you. It wants you to drop it into sport mode. It wants you to use the pedals and explore what it's about. Even though a lot of the time sport buttons are a bit useless, in here it opens up the engine a bit more and makes the gear shifts of the optional 8-speed auto a lot more noticeable. Another way, it involves you in the drive. That improved handling is down to the optional Active M suspension, a longer wheelbase, wider track and lower ride height compared to the 3 Series sedan. And the whole thing just feels good all the time. My only complaint? It doesn't really sound the part. There's no exhaust note to speak of, and the engine up front sounds pretty ordinary. Although I guess you only really want that when you're blessed with a stretch of open road. But for the rest, when you're cruising, enjoying a comfortable drive, it's not something you really miss. That's another one of this car's talents. It may look like it wants to devour every centimeter of road that it covers as quickly as possible, but it really is happy to cruise along. The suspension that's so good when you're putting in some effort is just as good when you're taking it easy, helped by a well-sorted interior. Although I can't say I'm crazy about the way BMW have tried to cram every single finish available in here. You've got gloss black, you've got aluminium, you've got beige leather, black headlining. It's not the most conservative of interiors, and it has got a monumental list of extras. All the extras, inside and out, total 201,000 Rand, which is quite simply stupid. I said the same thing about the base 316i we drove a few months back. This car would be just as good without any of the toys in here. Sure, it's nice to have a camera to help you reverse and little motors to help move your seat, and the steering wheel is a bit prettier, but really, this cabin is comfortable, well built and ergonomic enough without all those expensive extra bits. They say don't judge a book by its cover, and I agree. Except when it comes to this book. The BMW 428i makes an instant impression and follows it up with real driving enjoyment. It's as dynamic as it looks with a comfortable interior. Now, a lot of people will say that that is just a 3 Series with a different badge. And if that's the case, well, then I'm happy to say I found a 3 Series that I really enjoy driving. It's called the 428i.
Don't let the number combination fool you. The 428i is powered by a 2-litre twin-scroll turbo, but it still manages to deliver good power no matter the driving situation. It's a very well-balanced package, offering good style and comfort, then adding real talent when you find some space. Our only minor complaint, it just doesn't sound that exciting.